1 and 2 now. Lost the roll. Ah, this hand is bad. See, no accelerant or velocity cards. What? As it stands, my turn 3 witness cannot get anything back. Which, this is pretty illustrative of why I liked the fetch lands. Like, imagine, this thing was a mana elf. I would be able to keep this and actually get the 4th land out of the witness for the Seance. But I'm actually going to mulligan this, which I know a lot of people are like, land spells, keep. But Archangel's not a card you want in your opener. You want to cord for it when you have the win, or mill it and Seance it back, or draw it late game when you have all the mana. And then Seance is no good without the velocity cards. I have no accelerants. Pride Mage is likely to be a blank, nothing to get back with Witness. If you actually look at, like, go down the line of the hand, this hand is trash. But it's lands and spells, so a lot of people would just instinctively keep it. But I'm happy to mulligan it. And this hand is much better, and we get a Scry. A Plains. We're going to go Hierarch. Commune. If Commune were Wayfinder, I'd bottom it. But I think I'm actually going to top it, because I do want to get to Archangel, and I have Township. I have stuff to do with the extra mana. I want to make sure that I can function. Flip this is going to take a gander. Really glad I mulligans that embarrassing hand now, so my opponent won't be able to screenshot it and share it with their friends, as I used to often do with my play group back in the day, both in Probe's day and in Thoughtseize's first reign over Standard and Block Constructed. Just a turn 1 discard spell, and then print screen, right to Imgur, or Facebook group. Check out the trash this opponent kept against me. So Probe Slight off of a basic, a snowy basic even. Usually Storm. Usually Storm. Almost certainly combo of some kind, but that is almost assuredly going to be Storm. The other combo decks that might have Probe Sleight of Hand, their land would be like Gemstone Mine, not basic Island. Fetch up Steam Vents, all but confirming, and here comes Pyromancer's Ascension. Oh, Bolt the Bird, or rather Grapeshot the Human Elf, or Human Druid, excuse me. Of course it's not an elf. Card would be way too good as an elf. So white doesn't help the cord anyway, and they've seen the Township, so I might as well play that. And find Wayfinder? Yeah. Yeah, I need more traction. I keep saying traction when I mean velocity. I need more velocity. Go ahead and get the Wayfinder. I have the Witness. I can keep powering through my deck, find a Seance, and then Witness it back and play it and hopefully win from there. Unlikely we're going to have time. Storm is very often a turn 4 kill. It's probably like a turn 3.8 deck, 3.9 deck. And with a couple cantrips, some card selection, we're not putting them under enough pressure. Like, we're not going to be able to kill until turn 6 at least. It does not look good for us, I will say that. But we play on. Maybe they have to lean on an Ascension and we can find a Pride Mage, something like that. If we draw a Scavenging Ooze, naturally we might be able to do something cool with it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and find the way. There's the Pride Mage and the Spellskite, a couple of bullets down. We have this Township. We don't have a reason to be concerned about a life point, whereas the extra green might be something. Sadly, we're pretty far away from, like, Witness the Pride Mage back and have it sit and play, so we can't get Ascensioned. We can cord for 2 next turns. We can get the Scavenging Ooze, though we're a little light on green. Lots of cantrips. gonna be... See, in these types of, like, my mid-rangey deck versus a dedicated combo deck, you always kind of cross your fingers and hope they just have 9 lands in hand. But that's a lot harder to assume once they play their 6th card filtering spell. Electromancer is a good indication that the game is over, and not in our favor. I was thinking of having like a Fiend Hunter in the Chord package, but it's not even that great because they just bolt it and keep playing. So I cut it. Not that we could get it here anyway, but if there was like a cheap creature that plowed something, like a Bone Shredder, I would totally play it. But Bone Shredder, Fiend Hunter is not. So now we're real dead. Witness back what? Nothing of value? I can't play Archangel this turn, hope to survive one more turn miraculously, and then Chord for Spike Feeder. I can't Chord for Spike Feeder this turn and play Archangel next turn. Really can't do anything relevant at all. So, I'll play my Scavenging Ooze, pass, and hope upon hope. But I am not confident. So, I know for Magic videos, very often people will watch the deck tech in round 1 and that's it. Especially if round 1 is lost. The numbers over the years are very telling of that fact. And since I started this 0-2, the viewer drop-off is probably pretty steep. And I'm hoping you really know my hand, sir. Or madam. Flip this. What avatar is this? Skin Shifter. Skin Shifter is a man, I believe. Although I suppose if they can skin shift, they can be whatever they want to be. Which is a pretty convenient superpower, if I do say so myself. Ooh, Desperate Ravings. We might not be dead. No Past in Flames? I mean, if they didn't have it, they would have led with Desperate Ravings. So, they definitely have it. Unless this is some serious chicanery going on. There we go. Alright. Can we find a choke point? They're maintaining priority, presumably to flash this back. Yeah. That's going to resolve. What is the choke point? Well, all these probes are free, so they're going to draw 4, straight up 4, all 4 cards from those. And those 4 at 2 life a pop, plus the Reef almost certainly has to make blue, means my opponent will be going to exactly 1, which is an unfortunate number, as 1 is not 0, as many Twitch chat members know. So I can't stop the cantrips. There's a million of them. If there were a Manamorphose, I would choose that. But it seems the only choke point is exactly the Grape Shot. So I'm going to take the Grape Shot and hope that in the top half of their deck, they cannot find another Grape Shot. Good luck, us. I suppose another option would have been to take the Scour and hope that... Yeah, take the Scour, because they're going to have so much mana. They have all these rituals with the Electromancer in play that they can mill themselves with the Scour and then Past in Flames again. So it's kind of like 2 cards. But I think that the Grape Shot was just straight up lethal, or damn near it. Yeah, it's pretty much a mathematical impossibility that we survive this turn. But I will... If I were not recording this, I would just scoop. But since I am, we will fast forward through to our demise. There we are. Combo, combo, combo. Certainly our worst matchup, but we do have some specified hate. I actually like the scavenging oozes because they stop past in flames and can combat Pyromancer's Ascension somewhat as well. Spellskite's not great, but it protects these things. Rex Sage and the Pride Mage for the Ascension. Forge Tender does not stop Grape Shot or anything like that. It stops bolts or pyroclasms from killing these things, but I don't think that's worth it. I'd rather have access to more combo pieces. In order to, you know, get the kill ourselves. Again, you don't want a bunch of paths, but killing Electromancer can be pretty clutch. And we do need to maintain the infinite combo because of Empty the Warrens. People sometimes bring in Empty in just every matchup as a hedge. And being able to win is usually a good idea. So I'm thinking, even though it's the Seance challenge, we can shave a couple of Seances, a couple of the enablers. Since our chords are going to be taxed, we're not really going after our combo pieces as much as after these. In fact, we can even go down to one Archangel. Board in all this hate. Our chords are still great, so we still need our walls. Maybe just Wayfinders are not great if we're cutting some combo stuff. They're good with scavenging uses, I guess, but we really want our cards to be impactful. And Wayfinder is, I mean, it's 2 mana towards Chord, it's fine, but the Commune can actually find our silver bullets, which is why I like the Commune over the Wayfinders. I'll leave in one Wayfinder just in case, although I don't imagine we're going to Chord for it. I always like leaving one slot, one-ofs in the deck when you have access to things like Chord. What does this thing do? I did not mean to bring that in. That is embarrassing. What can it name? Engineered explosives? Like, these decks don't play Jace or anything like that. That is awkward. I literally don't have a thing to name with this in my opponent's deck. I guess I name Engineered Explosives. Maybe they play sideboard some member of that. Oh, the old At-I Serpanian Empires Volume 7 At-I. Could name that one. I'm just going to name Explosives, as awkward as that is. Oops. Oopsie. We didn't get probed or anything, no real reason to rush this out there into a bolt when they have the mana. See, now that they are scouring, thankfully they didn't hit spells, but it's more likely that some Ascension shenanigans could ensue. Like Ascension could come down and get active right away. Yeah, they've played all 3 cantrips now. So we'd probably have to get this Pride Mage onto the battlefield. And then, excuse me, and then the next turn we can chord for the Eidolon. Eidolon. Top. Woof. Woof. Scoos, eh? I think we need Pride Mage first. Also hits for an extra point. I exalt you. Revoker. Scoos can hit Electromancer to get out of Pyroclasm range. Maybe that was a consideration. Oh, my phone is dying. It's probably because I never charge it. Uh-oh. Red mana. Rending Volley. You got it. That kills the Eidolon as well. Pretty powerful setup there. I think we just chord. Oh no, this thing died. So now we can't chord for 3. So we can get Canonist. Or nothing. We're just getting Canonist. And then we can try and witness the chord back and find Spell's Guide or Eidolon or something. And I'm going to do it on their upkeep, so that if they have something like Remand, it chokes their mana on their turn. If I just ran it out there now, they could just get free use out of their mana that would otherwise be hanging. Wow, this is really embarrassing. Thank goodness I noticed it before passing. But we actually don't have green. Triple green. We have 2 townships and an artifact creature that I accidentally left in. So, Scavenging Ooze it is. This game is all sorts of embarrassing. I want to play Ooze because it survives Clasm. Which seems like the most likely. Yeah. I reveal to you all my secrets. I mean, I also realized too late to attack, so my opponent should theoretically be at 9 as well, which is a 2-turn clock. Wow. Remember earlier when I was getting all judgy for the people that don't watch the whole series, all the matches, they just watch the first one and then call it quits? Well, I no longer blame those people for this particular instance. If they missed this one, good. I hope less people see me play this one out, because hot damn, this was embarrassing. Accidental sideboard, just play like trash. No idea what I'm doing. In a terrible matchup. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I feel like I owe the audience that stuck with me, though, was the point I was making earlier. I want to, like, every time that I lose round 1, or just every time that I make a 5-match set in the later videos, like, always tell a good story or something so that people that skip out are missing out on something. Past in Flames. Well, they have 3 rituals and 3 cantrips. There's no Manamorphos that I can go after, which is kind of my default thing to attack. All else equal. If there's like 1 cantrip, you take the cantrip. If there's 1 ritual, you take the ritual. If they have a good number of both, then Manamorphos is their best card because it turns on the other cantrips, draws a card, makes the rituals better, etc. But here I think we just take the Probe. It's just a free card. These have to do something. I guess the Scour is also good because of flashing this back. I mean, they have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, so that's not really a thing. Yeah, I'm not as concerned about the Scour. I think the Probe is probably our best bet. Again, this is the difference between like 1% to win and 2% to win. But that's a good tip, right? See? You stuck with me. You watched the matches after we started 0-2, and you got a good laugh at my expense, and then learned about how to play with Scavenging Ooze against Storm. A valuable lesson. Leading with Sleight of Hand. So... might just be empty? Excuse me. Might just be empty, honestly. I think we can beat empty, too. If we were to draw a green source. Because it'll probably take 2 attacks, since we'll have some duders. One of those duders being Spike Feeder, and then the turn after I can hopefully cord for the Archangel. Maybe that's asking for too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grape Shot, Grape Shot. No, they're going after the creatures. Alright, game on. Draw another Scavenging Ooze to take out that Past in Flames would be great. See, Cord, you are just not quite enough. And again, I don't have the fetch land. Another illustrative example of why I am not playing Craig Wesco's mana base straight up or close to it. I like the fetches because getting back a fetch with a Witness is a line that comes up a lot. I suppose I still Witness Scavenging Ooze and hope they don't have enough juice to just nug me out this turn, and then I can ooze the Past in Flames next turn. I have 4 colorless lands, and we drew 2 of them as 2 of our 4 lands, and it's been punishing us. Also, we drew a colorless creature that shouldn't have been in the deck instead of a green creature. Like it would have been a Wayfinder if I had sideboarded correctly. Sleight of Hand land tells me their Sleight of Hand was 2 lands. Otherwise, they would have cracked this first and then played the Sleight of Hand. Yep, my assumption is correct. Scour, Manamorphos. Oh, brother. And the Scour hit Visions. No, Visions could have been in their hand already. No, it couldn't have, because they would have led with Visions, right? Instead of Sleight of Hand? I'm not a Storm player. I don't actually know if you lead with Visions or Sleight of Hand. I guess it depends on the texture of your hand and the game, but... Yes! Better late than never. is something that is said by frustrated people. Just dissuade any shenanigans. Chicanery, which is a great word that I picked up from a Ruben Bressler. Excuse me. Just gonna nab that past in flames off ya, if you don't mind. Actually, what would have been tight is chord for wall. Messed that one up. But that's okay. I can still chord for... Yeah, if I'd gotten the wall, could have had the extra activation, and then next turn chorded for whatever I wanted. Am I applying enough pressure that Scavenging Ooze and a chord for an Eidolon will be enough next turn? Or should I get an elf this turn so that next turn I can like play Spike Feeder and get an elf? Or and get an Eidolon? I think I'm gonna attack. Not positive this is correct, but I played this whole game like trash, so why stop now? Bolt the Scoos. Yeah, there's no choke point again. Only choke point is Grape Shot. I can't really go after the Manamorphose. I have to take the Grape Shot hoping that they hedged with empties. Although I'm not even sure I can beat empty anymore. Both our life totals are so low. I'm just going to die with a chord in my hand when I had opportunities to cast it. It's really frustrating. Alright, they did pass. Now you're talking. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. I can get the stupid thing. Eidolon if I win the game. Add a mana. Not how that card works. Add another mana. There we go. For 3, Monsieur. A ding ding ding. I pose a question, but you need not answer. It is rhetorical. Ascension. Not the best when you can only play one spell a turn. Plenty of time to kill that thing if I want. But I'm pretty sure I just attack because 3 and then 5 is lethal via Township. And then I have Chord for like Spellskite if I need to save this, or Canonist if I need it. can cast one, but you don't have to. And I choose not to. I choose not to fight. How did we win that game? Oh my god. Insane. The variance that needed to occur. Get out of my deck. What are you doing? Wayfinder, please. How good would Wayfinder have been that game? I had a Witness with nothing good to get back. I was missing land drops and green. I had Chords with... I needed bodies, like... Oh my goodness. Instead, I had this stupid robot, which just sucked up a grape shot after doing 4 damage or whatever. Wow, that was frustrating. What sucks is the Spellskites can't save the Eidolon from Rending Volley. Weirdly enough, Spike Feeder can if I have 2 mana up. Which is a cool... You know, the Spike ability... So all of these cards from Urza's or wherever these are from, they all have the first 2 lines of text. They come into play with however many counters, and then they can all move the counters around for 2 mana, which is really, really strong when damage stacked. And then each one, or most of them, had a unique last ability. So it's like, remove a counter, gain 2 life is this one, or remove a counter, put a 1/1 into play, or whatever. But Spike Feeder is the standalone because it was time shifted. So there's Spike Weaver, which was sort of a retro print in Time Spiral. There might be another that I'm forgetting, but since this cycle is no longer the first 2 abilities, this card is just known for the first and third ability. So whenever the second one is relevant, you can get people pretty good sometimes. They did leave in Electromancers, so I am gonna leave in some paths. Yeah, let's try it like this. See what we can muster. I mean, I'm gonna keep. It's not good. But, now I know what's up. But, Accelerant, Disruption card, Potential Disruption card, and then these 2 cycle eventually. Really, really slow card draw, but, like, if my relevant cards were not forms of interaction, if this was like, say, Witness and Spellskite, I would mulligan, because the canopies aren't fast enough to be relevant. But since I have some ways of kind of messing with them, so I'm not going to die on turn 3 or 4 as regularly. That's a good one too. I can afford to lean on the canopies a little to pull me out of a pretty clunky mana heavy hand. Wow. That is aggressive. They've seen the Canonist. Wow, they're missing a land drop. Wow, Probe Slight. Miss a land drop. Stinks to be you, my friend. I got Scoozies out the wazoo. It's cool because the canopies, like, I get to pump a bunch of green mana into the oozes and then not have to deal with the fact that I have a bunch of green sources because I could just cash them in. Although it doesn't look like this particular game is going to come down to that. And I think I am... Ooh, second land. Cool, 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 cool. Alright. I am gonna go ahead and... When it said Prob GG, assume that was after they missed their land drop. I'm gonna go ahead and engage the beatdowns, because I want to use all my mana. I don't want to have to hold this up. I want to be able to chord for the Eidolon. Playing like a donkey the last 2 games. I assume that's targeted at me, and I don't necessarily disagree. Thicket would come into play tapped, so I gotta pay a little life. Just gonna get this Eidolon into play. It's gonna be pretty hard to lose if we can get all this hate in. Oh, he's saying he played poorly. Sees Canonist, bolts Noble. So yeah, I have not played great either. I just assume when somebody's talking negative on Moto, they're talking about me. I'm just so used to it. Especially because I have been playing quite poorly this match. But there's some good lessons. Not the least of which is, you know, there's always a chance. Never scoop. Truth is, I always scoop those spots, but when I'm recording videos, I like to let the games come to their natural conclusions for the viewer's sake. But yeah, probe, see Canonist, bolt the bird is not the greatest line I've ever seen. Only been streaming for less than a month. In between talking and my girlfriend had me sit with the baby for a bit, and I completely blanked while knowing your hand. Yeah, talking and playing is not easy. Can't wait to show you my hand. Can't wait to see it, buddy. Alright. Cash in these canopies, I think. Depending on what we draw, of course. I guess I want one more turn of just activating stuff. 75 people watching me donkey it up. Well, I hate to say, I don't want to be like, more people watch me throw it away. But, I've definitely, thrown worse against worse people. Watch my side later. Recording a video. Alright. Let's go ahead and engage. And then bash for 4 with the scoos, leave up 2 activations and play the thicket. Haven't seen you in years. Oh, he knows who I am. That's cool. In years since the SCG circuit had the Good Players Club. Hope all is well. That's cool. Shoutouts to Flip This. See, these are the, oh, it's Tim Cicino. Alright, I know who that is. I'm not great with names or faces, but I do know Tim. Well, I know Tim Cicino. Tim is one of the most common names in my life. I know like 9 Tims. Generally have to go by last name. I have to do that for a lot of people. Because you play Magic, you meet all of your opponents, and you know how many Bryans do I know? You know, like it's just absurd. So I have to go by last name so often, unless you have a super unique first name. I probably know you by a nickname or your last name or a full name. Jeez. That's cool. That is a very red hand. Ooh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. So it's not even lethal if I scoos the yard and then this is the hand left over. They somehow wipe the board. This isn't lethal in and of itself, but all right, 2 and 2. One more to go.